Hi students, thank you and welcome for joining us. I'm gonna let everyone filter in for a second before we get started. We appreciate you all being here today, and I still see students flowing in, so I will get started with some housekeeping announcements in a few seconds once it looks like everyone has joined. Okay, I'm going to kick us off. So welcome to the Yes Prep Virtual College Fair, and thank you so much for joining us. For students, just a few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Please be sure if you have a question for a specific school to name the school that you are asking the question to. And if it is a general question, you don't need to, but if it is a question for a particular school so they know it's to them, please try to include their name. Your camera and microphones are turned off so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website where you registered. So with that being said, thanks for joining, and I'm going to turn it over to our presenters. So our first school we have for you guys today is Caltech.
Hello, everybody, and it's great to be here. I'll go ahead and share my screen and get started. All right. Again, be sure to put any questions in the Q&A. And welcome to Caltech. I first want to respectfully acknowledge that our campus is located on the historic lands of the Tongva people, specifically the Gabrielino people. I also want to start with telling you the lens through which I see Caltech. My name is Jan Lacoste. I'm Associate Director of Admissions at Caltech. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I was the first in my family to attend college, and I liked it so much I kept going until I got a PhD. And I come to admissions from teaching university level Russian language, literature, culture, and folklore. I've been at Caltech for a little over 13 years. The Institute is an intimately sized campus in Pasadena, California, with a significant impact in STEM. You'll probably know Pasadena for its Tournament of Roses parade and the Rose Bowl game on New Year's Day. And an important thing to know about Caltech is that each one of our scientists and engineers is an innovator. The talented individuals who spend their careers here choose Caltech because the Institute is known for solving the most difficult problems, often through strategies that have never been tried before. And that means that individuals work under conditions that can even lead to the creation of new disciplines as they advance their research goals. Curiosity is something we all have in common. It's what put Curiosity, as you see here, and soon Perseverance on Mars. Both rovers were built at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, which is a NASA facility that is a division of Caltech. A lot of what you learn in STEM classes today can be traced in some way to Caltech. Think about the theory of quantum electrodynamics, why Pluto's a dwarf planet, earthquake science. Think about these recent scientists. I know you know Richard Feynman, but how about Frances Arnold? She pioneered the directed evolution of enzymes and won a Nobel Prize in 2018, only the 5th woman to win the prize in chemistry. Or Katie Bowman, who in conjunction with MIT and several other organizations created an algorithm and put together a team that photographed a black hole. She's on our faculty. Caltech values innovation, and it's a playground for scientists. All of our students have access and opportunities to conduct research with professors who create novel procedures and devices. They discover new life and planets. They answer questions that haven't even been asked yet. In this slide, you see students working in the Jim Hall prototyping lab at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory and in wet labs doing primary research, often through our summer undergraduate research fellowship program, or SURF. Our undergrads typically do research during the summer, often at Caltech, JPL, or another university through this program. And it gives them the opportunity to conduct research under the guidance of experienced mentors, people who are working at the frontier of their field, doing cutting edge, bleeding edge research. At Caltech, we've fostered curiosity and discovery. We have around 950 undergraduates and a 3-to-1 student-faculty ratio. We educate outstanding students to become creative members of society. Right now, if you were to take a snapshot of Caltech, it's about 44% female, 56% male, and that's based on sex assigned at birth. We offer need-based financial aid, and we meet 100% of demonstrated financial need. All of our students have access to our innovative professors. Faculty teach every single class, from the first term 200-person core course to the seminar with 5 other students and everything in between. We're a residential research community, and that approach to teaching and learning is really reflected in everything we do. Students declare a major, an option, towards the end of the first year of study after they take core courses, pizza courses, and have lots of advising as well. This is our core curriculum, which shows our interdisciplinary approach to STEM. Regardless of intended major, all students have this interdisciplinary base to anchor their studies. We collaborate on everything, working like scientists in the wild together all the time. Our students collaborate on problem sets and learn that science is actually a team sport, and collaboration fosters community, and it offers support and a sort of college family. Our students learn early on how the STEM fields are interrelated by applying principles used in one class to their work in another. Students live, learn, collaborate, and have downtime on campus. We have myriad clubs depending on student interest, music, Division III sports, and club sports, theater, art. There's a lot to do on campus. When you apply, we're a Common App school, or we are also a coalition school, and we're a proud QuestBridge Partners school. You'll notice in the standardized testing that you don't see much because we have a moratorium on the SAT and ACT for entry in 2021 and 2022. We're not even considering those scores as part of the application materials. And with that, I will wrap up. Here's some basic contact information, and we'll get that to you later. Meanwhile, feel free to put questions in the Q&A box, and I'll turn this over to MIT.
Thank you very much. Next up is the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. And again, students, please feel free to utilize that Q&A. These reps are waiting and available to help.
All right, hi everyone. My name is Danielle Tate, and I'm going to get to sharing my screen right now with you all so that we can talk about MIT. So some things that you should know about MIT is that we are located right in the heart of Cambridge, Massachusetts, which is in the Boston area. So all of you are familiar with, may be familiar with other schools such as Harvard, Boston University. We are located in an area with a ton of different other schools, which really makes for a great college environment. Our students really like to be in this environment because they also have access to different tech firms that are in the area as well. So some things that I wanted to highlight to you all today about MIT is really our culture. So MIT's mission is really to advance the knowledge and educate students in science, technology, and other areas of scholarship that will best serve the nation and the world in the 21st century. And it's important to note that when we were actually founded 2 days before the Civil War. So obviously there was a lot going on in the world and in our nation. We were founded really at the heart of the Industrial Revolution. And at that time, there were two different fields of, or two different approaches to higher education. education. One approach was really to study philosophy or the humanities and kind of read commentary of what other scholars thought about the world and how it worked. And then also at the other end of that spectrum, there were also some scholars who wanted to really be an apprentice and study blacksmithing and things of that nature, where they're actually getting their hands dirty. So our founders really saw it important to make sure that we're connecting, not just learning for the sake of learning and learning like from books, but also to put their hands together, and which really creates our mission, which is Mind and Hand, Mens et Manus. So you'll see a lot of students are on campus trying to tackle some things such as preventing cancer, finding different sources of energy. Some of you may have seen some of the cool projects that have happened at MIT, such as our cheetah robots, which are the first four-legged robots to actually do a backflip. I've actually witnessed this, and they're kind of scary looking because they don't really have a head. But these cheetah robots are so exciting, and our students are always trying to break barriers in science and technology, and not only use that just for the sake of, US advancement, but also take it back to their communities wherever they might be from. And so sometimes you'll see students even doing some fun things, such as just building roller coasters on campus. This is actually one project that was done by a residence hall on campus called East Campus. Every single year, what they would do is build a different amusement park ride. And this year, that's represented here, they actually built a roller coaster. And I like to point out about this project is that this was not a class project. This is something that was done completely on students' own times because they want to be celebrated for their interest in STEM, right? So MIT really is a place where you can get involved in STEM and really find other like-minded individuals, as well as some other different disciplines such as the arts, the humanities, etc. So just looking at this simple project here, this is the intersection of mathematics, urban planning. We actually had the city of Cambridge rather, come in and make sure that the roller coaster was up to code. You'll see physics and mechanical engineering, all of those different disciplines really coming at the intersection to build this roller coaster. And there are a ton of different fun projects and more serious projects too that you'll see around our campus. In terms of students' ability to actually get out there and do research, we do have different research opportunities for our students through something called our Undergraduate Research Opportunities Program. And you'll hear students refer to that as a UROP. Students from all different years have access to do a UROP, which is really graduate level research. So over 90% of our students actually graduate having done one UROP, and many of our students graduate having done 2 to 3 different research opportunities. So this is not just like throwing, writing up papers or filing things. These students are actually engaged in different research opportunities. And I'm happy to say that so many of these research opportunities have led to students developing their own companies, their own products. I'm sure many of you have heard of Khan Academy as well. And so certain businesses like that have really been started on our campus through many of the different initiatives that we have. We also have something called the MIT Sandbox Innovation, which is really for students who are interested in entrepreneurship, and it provides seed funding and different educational access and materials for teams that are interested in starting their own business on campus. I mentioned earlier about how, many of these different disciplines come together. We're really a collaborative campus. So many people come to MIT and they think, it's really competitive in the classroom setting, and that's not necessarily the case. Our students like to work together, they like to collaborate, and you will be asked to do so when you get on our campus. Our students are doing problem sets together, and this is, although it looks like, a fun party or, I've heard spring fling from some students before, this is actually a capstone class that you're seeing here. So this is a capstone for our mechanical engineering students, where they get on stage and they actually build a product and have to bring it up to code. So in terms of our welcoming community, I will say that we've reached almost gender parity in this last class, and many of our students are coming from the public school system. When you're on campus, you're able to do a ton of different things, such as join one of our largest, the largest D3 program. In terms of the MIT application, we have our own application available online, and these are all of the things that you need. We have taken a 1-year suspension for the SAT or ACT, and we are available on the QuestBridge application and via early action and regular action as well. And so that's it from MIT. If you have any questions, feel free to ask us in the chat. And I'll hand it over to our next rep.
Thank you very much. Our next school that we'll be presenting is going to be Duke University.
Thank you very much. Let me share my screen. All right. Thank you, everyone. Glad to join you all today. My name is David Sechi. I'm an admissions officer at Duke. I'm also a graduate class of 2014. So I'm very excited to kind of give you a quick brief overview about the resources that you would encounter if you were to consider Duke. So this kind of picture, I actually took 4 different slides and put them together to kind of give you an idea for all the many ways that we want you to get prepared for what you would encounter at Duke. So learning at Duke is something that's, obviously as an institution, education institution, we want you to know that when you're coming to Duke, you're going to have a very active role in how you learn. We have 2 schools for students to apply to, the Trinity College of Arts and Science or the Pratt School of Engineering. Both schools have a very liberal arts curriculum base, but the Pratt School specifically is our engineering school. So it also comes with a hands-on engineering experience. And we want students to know that you're going to have a very flexible opportunity here at Duke. You're going to have the ability to really be able to shape what academic path works for you. We don't have a core curriculum here. All Duke students have to take 1 class, and that is writing 101 class. Beyond that, you get to shape how you get to your academic major, all that, with the help of the faculty members who are here as well too. So one thing that we always want students to know when they're at Duke is that you're going to connect with people here. And those people specifically, we hope will start with the faculty members. Our faculty are world-renowned leaders and teachers, and they are here specifically to work with students. So we always want you to know that you have a great advising system that is awaiting you here to make sure that all the support you need will be able to guide you on whatever path you want to take. And while you're connecting with the faculty members, we hope that you're going to explore the many resources available at Duke. And this exploration can come in many forms, whether you're doing research, which is a very big thing, and we welcome students to really do research in multiple fields here at Duke. Whether you're doing it in the STEM, in the arts and science, social studies, all of that. We always welcome students to use the resources on campus, such as the Duke Lemur Center, which is the largest concentration of lemurs outside of Madagascar, the Duke Medical Center, the Humanities Lab on campus. All these resources and our several graduate schools on campus, all these resources are there for undergraduates to use. And we always want you to use them to the best ability for yourself, because we think that there's a very strong benefit in you figuring out exactly how these things might fit in what you want to do, what you want to do going forward in life. And we also want you to know that when you come to Duke, you're going to join a community. So we hope that you're excited to live with the people around you. We do have a 3-year requirement to live on campus. And obviously this is outside of our world of COVID. So we've made some changes to that requirement at the moment. But typically students will live on campus for at least 3 years, but housing is guaranteed for all 4 years as well too. And community is a big thing here at Duke. We want students to know that you're coming to meet people from all 50 states on our campus. You're coming to meet people from over 90 countries. And we want you to bring your own perspective to our campus. We are excited for students to bring their backgrounds, your own ideas, and come here and shape it with your classmates. We actually have one part of campus called East Campus, where all first-year students live together. And the whole idea of this is we want students to be able to transition from high school to college very seamlessly and effortlessly. So we want you to have that ability to create this community with the people who will be graduating with you for that entire first year. So you're still going to be part of the larger Duke community, but you have one small part of the campus just for you and your incoming class. And all of this really leads to the ability for students to learn how to collaborate with each other. We want students to also understand that our spaces are made for collaboration. You're going to have a better time. You're going to have an amazing time at Duke if you're willing to work with the people around you. And that's kind of what's built into the physical spaces on our campus. And we hope that that's an experience that all students who arrive at Duke will be able to enjoy. And while you're doing this, we hope that students will also love the fact that they're in Durham. So Durham itself, known as the Bull City, is a very quirky town. It's part of what is called the Research Triangle, which is created by Raleigh, nearby, and Chapel Hill. So this region itself boasts one of the highest concentrations of PhDs, MDs, and engineers in the entire world. So there's a very geeky vibe in the Durham location, but there's also a very strong cultural and arts historical vibe here as well too. So we always want students to know that there's a wide range of resources available on our campus as well as beyond our campus too. So you're going to be able to really enjoy the vast opportunities that are available by Duke specifically, and also by the community that we live in. Durham itself has been noted as one of the best places for millennials to live, also one of the most diverse locations for millennials right now who are going into their young adult life. Also has been known to be one of the best places to eat. We are America's foodiest small town. That always trips me up. And we always want students to kind of get an idea for how amazing the culture is here, just through the food that they can explore when they're on our campus, and also exploring Durham. And a little quick thing about our financial aid. So similar to my colleagues previously, we offer very generous financial aid packages for our students. And the number that you see up, at the top there is a very hard number to look at, $78,000. That's a lot of money. But we always want students to know that our financial aid is set up to support students and provide 100% of that need. What that means is that when we calculate what your family can contribute to college, whatever the difference is between that amount and that 78,000 you see there, Duke will step in to help cover, starting with grants and scholarships before and having to go to loans if we have to go to loans. If you're coming from a family making $60,000 or less, there's no estimated family contribution. So Duke will step in to help cover your cost of attendance. And that's an example myself. That was my case when I was a student here. Duke stepped in to help cover my entire cost of attendance. And I was fortunate enough to graduate Duke, similar to several of my peers, debt-free. That's something that we want students to be able to attain. The many resources we have on our campus are here for you to really explore. We know that college is a very interesting time for students to grow academically and personally as well too. So we want you to have access to our study abroad opportunities, Duke Engage programs, Duke Immerse, all the many amazing resources on campus that will allow you to continue to develop as a person. So we always want to make sure that financially this is a good opportunity for you as well too. This is just a few quick links for you to connect with us. Additionally, we'll also be available to answer any additional questions that you have through the Q&A box. And we welcome you to reach out to us at any time if you want to learn a little bit more about it. With that, I'll pass it on to our next colleague.
Thank you very much, Duke. Next up, we're going to head over to the West Coast, and we're going to go to the University of Southern California.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much. I'm going to attempt to share my screen here. Not the most tech savvy, so I'm going to cross my fingers and knock on wood that everything works out smoothly. Let's see. All right. So, hey, y'all. My name is Andy Nguyen, pronouns he, him, his, one of the assistant directors here at the USC Office of Admission. Just want to thank everybody for taking time out of y'all's day to learn more about the opportunities college can provide for you. Of course, wish we could be doing this in person, but still, nonetheless, happy that we have this virtual setting to connect. So, who are we? We're a large private research university located in the heart of Los Angeles. About 47,000 and a half total students, 20,000 of whom are going to be undergraduate seeking students. So hopefully you guys can join that population next year. Now, even though we are a large, big university, I don't think we're impersonal by any means. And kind of what I mean by that is the numbers on the right. Student faculty ratio is 8-to-1, as well as the average class size being 25, 26. So this means a couple of things. You're going to have an engaging experience, not only with your colleagues, right, other students, but also with your professors, right? They're going to really get to know you. And that's important for those looking for a job after they graduate, probably all of y'all, as well as those that want to continue going to grad school, for example. It's going to be great that your professors know you. Now that you know a little bit about the classroom experience, you're probably wondering what your overall experience is going to look like. First thing I want to highlight, interdisciplinary studies. That's just a fancy term for those that want to combine like kind of two academic areas of study into one single degree. So kind of like being a double major, right? Now I'm not the greatest at math, so I'm not sure how many permutations and combinations this is, but we have over 180 majors and 200 minors at USC, right? So our students have great flexibility with regard to interdisciplinary studies. You have no limit on the number of courses you can take outside of your major, so you got total academic freedom. An example of this, I think like the most popular minor among engineering students is theater, right? So pretty different, but this gives you kind of an idea of the type of students here at USC. For us, it's just important that you're able to engage with one another, and we want to inspire this encouraging, enriching learning and academic environment. And part of that academic and learning environment is participating in research. look, we got specific funding for undergraduates that want to participate as a research assistant on their professor's project or want to conduct original research, right? It can really all begin your first semester at USC. We have programs called SOAR, that's the Student Opportunities for Academic Research. We also have SURF programs, which stands for Summer Undergraduate Research Funding, right? So this provides you with money to participate as a research assistant, or during the summer, you can conduct your own original research, right? It's really year-round here. It's important for us that you have an opportunity to connect with your faculty members and their research, be mentored one-on-one by faculty, while also introducing you early in your academic career to the process of serious scholarly inquiry. Now, there's a lot of ways to get a hands-on experience, right, outside of just doing research and being on campus. During more normal times, there are about 2,000 students studying abroad in any given semester. So I guess you can say it's quite popular among our students, right? You can participate in a year-long program, semester-long programs. You can live with a host family or at the international campus, right? You also have an opportunity during the summer to participate in a variety of courses we call Problems Without Passports. It's just problem-based learning combined with studying in different locations, right? Example of this, last year, students completed a course on environment and governance, international and domestic policymaking. And for the last 2 or 3 weeks of the course, they travel with their colleagues or other students and their professors to Berlin and Amsterdam. They met with policymakers that were actively engaged and involved in solving environmental issues, right? Really cool stuff. So global experience, another great way of connecting with faculty members. Now, outside of the opportunities abroad, there are plenty of activities to do closer to campus. As y'all know, we're located in LA, right? This vibrant international city, really the magnet for art, culture, food, industry, commerce, right? By living and learning in Southern California's moderate climate. And believe me, you guys, like, I don't know if you can see my background, but it kind of looks like this, like 360 days out of the year. You got your 5 days of June gloom, but we're spoiled out here. Everybody freaks out when it's a quarter inch of rain, but you're gonna be used to it. I live in Texas, so I know what's up. But with the weather, you have year-round recreation opportunities, right? You can ski, surf, hike. Now, if you're not an outdoorsy person, I totally get it, believe me. You can participate in numerous venues that have live music, theater, art, and dance, right? There's really something for everybody's taste and budget. And like I said, believe me on the budget part, being the incredibly diverse city that we are, you have an abundance of cuisines from all around the world. My personal favorite, Korean barbecue located in Koreatown here. Campus life, another great way of immersing yourself in the USC experience. With over 1,000 clubs and organizations, this really provides you with an opportunity to network professionally, seek out your community, as well as really seeking out and expanding upon your interests, right? About 90% of our students graduate with 1 internship, 49 graduate with 3 internships, while about 72% graduate with 2 internships. So there's a lot of specific recruiting events on campus for students where you can interview for a job, an internship. We can help you with building your resume, practice interviews, finding the right internship for you. Essentially, it's a big plus if you're graduating with experience on your resume or with a job already lined up, right? That's good stuff for us. Now, the Trojan family. So even when you do graduate, you're going to always be a part of this Trojan family. How can I define the Trojan family? For me, it's just this like diverse global network of hundreds of thousands of alumni, students, faculty, staff, parents, donors, partners, friends, fans, right? I think it's something that everyone notices about us, this powerful sense of community. And with over 425,000 alumni worldwide, I think the Trojan family represents one of your most, if not the most valuable resource and assets. Our alumni, they're leaders in business, the arts, social sciences, public service, and sports as well. Now, our application process is holistic, meaning we're not taking a look at just one specific part of your application. We're looking at everything in its totality. Make sure you apply by December 1st if you're considering free money, aka a scholarship. That's good stuff. If you don't want free money, January 15th. Apply using the Common App, right? If I'm not tech savvy and I know how to do it, I'm sure you guys know how to do it. This is what we need as a part of the application. We're test optional for this upcoming year. There's no catch there, as well as we need your transcripts, letter recommendation. And of course, we're financial aid as well. If you need more assistance on that, please visit the website right there on the bottom or just ask me in the Q&A and I got y'all's back. And thank you so much for letting me share opportunities available at CSUN, and I'll hand it back off to Kelsey.
Thank you very much, Andy. We are going to go to our next school. That is going to be Case Western University. Case Western Reserve University. And also please remember to utilize that chat or Q&A feature. And we have 2 schools left, so get those questions in so the reps can answer them before our session ends. Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much, Kelsey. My name is Rod. I'm one of the admission counselors at Case Western Reserve University. For what it's worth, also a double alum of the university, and really thrilled to be here today to share with you a little bit about this institution that is my alma mater that we absolutely love. Now, Case Western Reserve University is a private research university in Cleveland, Ohio. Excuse me. We have about 5,200 undergrad students. So it's a mid-sized research university, and we're just about 10 minutes away from downtown Cleveland. So one of the immediate advantages to being a student, there's easy access to the city and all the opportunities that it has to offer. And Cleveland is known for medicine, for food, for the performing arts, culture in general. Those are some of the things that the city is known for. Now, students that are typically come to Case Western Reserve University have really lofty goals and ambitions, and we help them meet and exceed these through a variety of ways. One of the ways we do so is by putting forward something known as a single door admission policy, which means when you apply to the university, if we admit you, we do not admit you into a specific school, college, major, or academic discipline within the university. We simply admit you as a student, and you can go in to study whatever you want to that we have to offer. There's no application to be a pre-med, to be an engineer, to be a nursing student, to be a pre-law student, or anything like that. You can be that biomedical engineering student that's also double majoring in business. So kind of pursuing academic interests across schools, that's absolutely fine, because we recognize that nowadays it's at the intersection of different academic disciplines that you tend to find new knowledge. But it's not just about broad access to the curriculum that you get at Case Western Reserve University. This is also complemented by the highest levels of research. We are a tier 1 research institution, and 99% of our students learn by doing. So research is a pretty important, I suppose, cultural aspect of who we are. And you can be involved starting your very first semester at the university. We have students doing field work in places like Ethiopia and whatnot. We have students doing work in Spain, in Costa Rica, and other parts of Latin America. But right around on campus, all of our faculty conduct research. So this opens up research opportunities in practically any academic discipline we have to offer. And I'd actually like to highlight Chris Carr on the screen here, who graduated class of 2019 and discovered a galaxy during his junior year at the university. And then he got to interview Neil deGrasse Tyson on his radio show after that. So when we talk about students being involved in really cutting edge research opportunities, Chris Carr is just an example of that, and that could be you. You could be that next student. But we're all about connecting students to opportunities and resources. And my favorite resource we have at the university I'd like to highlight is the Sears Think Box, which is our makerspace and is currently the largest open access makerspace on any university campus in the world. And it is open to absolutely every student, every community member. You ever find yourself in Cleveland, you can walk in there and use that space. So this summer, Badar, who's a current senior at the university, went in there and created an invention called SUDS, which I think is particularly timely because with the COVID pandemic, N95 masks have been incredibly important, especially for healthcare workers at the front lines of the pandemic. And because of a global shortage of those masks, healthcare workers are being asked to reuse them, which means they need to decontaminate masks before they get to see the next patient. And that process has typically taken about an hour with current commercial solutions that are available. So Badar and his team went into our Think Box this summer and created the device you see there that decontaminates N95 masks in 1 minute. So you can obviously see how important this is going to be in the fight against the COVID pandemic, especially for healthcare workers. And the Think Box is that space that's available again to every student. You have all resources like your laser cutters, 3D printers, circuit board cold routers, milling machines, water jet cutters, sewing machines, wood shop, metal shop, and you can create anything and even start a company. We give you access to startup office space and incubation space, which is one of the reasons that we've been the most represented university at the Consumer Electronics Show, which is one of the biggest tech shows that happens every January in Las Vegas. But when you talk about all of these things, resources, opportunities that students have access to, our location is perhaps the most important. And you see behind the Cleveland Museum of Art there, you can see the downtown area to give you a sense of where we are relative to downtown Cleveland. But we are located right here in University Circle that you see on the screen. And all of these institutions are within a 5-minute walking distance of the center of our campus. So it is the Cultural and Medical Center of Cleveland. On the medical side, you have the Cleveland Clinic, the second best hospital in the United States. That's just a short walk down the street. We opened up a new health education campus. If you follow politics, the first presidential debate that happened just last week happened in that health education campus that houses our medical, dental, nursing students. And we really encourage collaboration between those students. You also have university hospitals on campus, the third largest Veterans Affairs hospital right there as well. On the cultural front, you have the Cleveland Museum of Art, the Museum of Natural History, as well as one of the top 10 orchestras in the world in the Cleveland Orchestra. So lots of opportunities for students. And then in terms of financial aid, we meet 100% demonstrated need for all students we admit. We also automatically consider you for merit scholarships that range between $10,000 and $30,000, no application necessary. And so if there are only 3 things I want you to remember about Case Western Reserve University, it's a focus on interdisciplinary approach to learning, access to cutting edge research and world-class resources, as well as a focus on experiential learning that is facilitated by our location. And with that, I will pass it over to my next colleague.
Thank you very much. Students, we have our last school about to present. It is going to be Brown University. And again, please utilize that Q&A feature to connect with the schools before the session ends. So off to you, Brown.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Francisco Herrera. I'm an assistant director of admissions here at Brown. And there we go. Okay, so Brown is the 7th oldest college in the country. We were founded in 1764. We're a member of the Ivy League, and the Van Wickle gates that you see up here on the screen are one of our most famous kind of places on campus, right? One of the traditions, just like a lot of other schools, is that when you're a freshman and you first get to campus, the entire freshman class walks through the gates, and the gates are only opened twice a year, right? And so you'll see a lot of pictures of these gates throughout, and it's kind of one of the most visible things. So we kind of like to start a presentation with that. And so the first time that it opens during the academic year is convocation, which is a ceremony that opens up the academic year, and our freshmen walk through the gates and into Brown. And then the second time that they're open during the year is during graduation. And so our seniors finish their graduation ceremony, and after everything is all done, they walk right back out through the gates the way they did 4 years before. Brown is located right between Boston and New York City, up in the Northeast, on the traditional homelands of the Wampanoag and Narragansett peoples. It's the second largest metropolitan area, but it is the capital city of the littlest state in the country. And so if you're thinking about what it might look like to actually be at Brown, this is a really beautiful drone image from our campus. And if you're looking at the bottom, that's where our main quad is, right? And so that's where our main green. And this is looking up and over into the downtown Providence area. And so you'll see, right, it's definitely a city. There's enough to do. But one of the things I like most about Brown and that students really appreciate is that it's big enough that if you want to get off campus and go down the hill and into the city, and you want to hang out or you want to get involved, and maybe you want to get involved with local politics or state politics with the city, right? There's, whether it's, political life or volunteering at a hospital, all kinds of different things that you might want to do that are off campus. It's very easy to get out there. But having our campus kind of located right on College Hill if you want to stick to campus and kind of be involved with the Brown community as well, you can do that too, right? And so what you'll see is that the spirit of being able to kind of pick your own adventure and design it, or even change it as you're here at Brown, is really pervasive throughout our culture here on campus. And there's nothing more distinctive and nowhere that you'll see this even more than in our open curriculum. Our open curriculum is probably the thing we're the most known for, right? And it's basically this idea that if you're a student and you come to Brown, you should be able to study whatever you want, however you want, whenever you want. And so we don't have any required courses. We do have 3 requirements though, right? The first requirement is that you take 30 credits during your 4 years at Brown. And so basically, if you're coming to Brown, you're going to be a student, you need to take classes, but 30 credits is very easy to do as long as you're making kind of the standard progress. If you're taking the average number of classes every semester for the 4 years, you're going to get your 30, you're actually going to get more than 30 credits. The other requirement is that you're going to do a writing designated class during the first half of your time at Brown, and then again during the second half of your time at Brown. Now, a writing designated class is not a class where you're writing 50 pages every week. It's just a class where the professors have thought about the assignments and they want you to be thinking about your writing, right? They want you to be polishing it up. They want you to be thinking about how to use language in a way to build your arguments more clearly, to use evidence more intentionally, right? So when you're developing that argument, or whether it's a 5-page paper or a 50-page paper, you're thinking a little bit more so that by the time you graduate Brown, you've worked on your writing at least a couple times, and you're graduating as someone that can write a lot more clearly and a lot stronger. The final requirement is that whatever concentration you choose, which is our fancy word for major, whatever concentration you choose, you have to fulfill all the requirements of that concentration. So if you come to Brown and you say you want to concentrate in biology, for example, you can't just take English and history classes. You actually have to do the biology stuff, right? You have to do what the department says. But if you do want to take the English and history classes, in addition to that, you absolutely can, because you don't have any other requirements to worry about. And if you're looking at this quote by Aiden O'Shea, one of our recent alums, that's exactly what this means, is that you can come to Brown and you can have an idea of what you want to do and go after that. Or maybe you get here and realize that that's not what you want. Or maybe you already know that you're undecided and you're not sure. And that's exactly what the open curriculum is here for, is so that you can actually explore all these things that you're either familiar with or maybe you've never heard of, and actually just enjoy all the things that we have to offer. Research, right, just like a lot of these other amazing schools I've been lucky to present with today, is a very big part of undergraduate life here at Brown. Over 1,000 different students are doing research during the academic year, and then during the summer, another 600 to 800 students are doing their own research projects, right? Before I move on, I do want to point out, if you're looking at that second blurb, right, undergrads are doing research through grants, fellowships, independent study projects. They're getting funded by faculty. They're getting funded from the university, sometimes by alums. If you want to do research, right, whether that research is in science, the way you've seen a lot of today, or if you want to do research in political theory or the humanities, if you want to study old texts or languages, whatever the research is that you want to do, there's a way to do that here. And then the really nice thing is that because there's more than twice as many undergraduates as there are graduate students here, professors are always happy to be able to support you with doing all of that stuff. I love this slide just because it also captures what our culture looks like outside of the classroom. And so if you're thinking about something that you already know that you like to do, for example, a lot of athletes that play sports for Brown will come and continue to play for the years that they're here. You can do that, but if you want to try something new, for example, like theater on the bottom corner, you can also get involved. And the fun stat that I share there is that over 90% of our theater cast and crew are not studying theater or doing it extensively. We have tons of money to help with internships and programs over the summer. And to conclude, I'd like to talk about the Brown Promise. If you're looking at our financial aid, we'll take a look at your demonstrated need, and we're going to fill all of that demonstrated need with scholarship and grant. And so you won't have any loans packaged into your financial aid when you come to Brown. you have more questions, you can definitely check all kinds of different ways to engage with us on this website, including our personal contact information and all kinds of different virtual events that we have. Thanks so much for sharing some time with me. I know I'm over time, so I appreciate everyone else and your patience as well.
Thank you very much. And thank you to all 6 of our presenters today. We really appreciate you guys being here, and hopefully students, you were able to ask the questions you were hoping to get answered. So thank you again for joining. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We appreciate any feedback you can provide. Just remember, in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as the other sessions recordings on the website if you were looking to view any others. And if you do have more additional questions, please feel free to contact these reps individually, and they'd be more than happy to connect with you. So thank you again for attending today's seminar, and have a great day. And I saw that there were 2 last-minute questions for Brown, and since they just finished presenting, I'm going to give him 1 minute to try to answer, and if he cannot get those answers to you, he can contact you separately after. They will receive these questions just because we have another session about to start. So thank you, guys.
Thank you for hosting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.